Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon for you guys. So in today's video I will talk about my experience using MacBook Air base model, okay, 8 GB, 256 GB storage, 8 GB of RAM. So it's already 3 months. So I would like to talk about it and share my experience with it. So first I have a note. So yeah. So maybe the first question is 8 GB enough? So in my perspective, it's very depend what you use or what is your need. Are you just using this MacBook Air only for maybe watching movies or reading email or office? So I believe 8 GB is enough. And if you maybe video editor or something like that, 8 GB I believe it's still enough, but 16 may be the best way to go. And if you maybe a developer or coder, so I believe just like me, 8 GB is still enough. And yeah, maybe if you want to go more to 16 GB will be better. So yeah, let's we talk and test about that. So first of all, I aware about the swap memory issue in the MacBook Air or any MacBook in M1. So maybe we can start with checking our swap memory first. So I just reboot or restart my Mac. We can check in here, it's still 0 used. So you can see also in activity monitor in memory, you can see that it's still 0 used. Okay, and then yeah, we can close this. We can check in here. So and another tool is SmartCTL. As you can see, in about 3 months I already use 1%. So honestly, when the first time I bought this MacBook, it's already 1%. Okay, so we start with assumption. Maybe let's say is 1% is equal to 3 months. Okay, now we can calculate how long until the SSD is fully damaged. So let's say it's 3 months, but as you can see, it's already 3 months, but it's not increased. It's still 1%. Okay, so it's just let's just assume that 1% is equal to 3 months. Then we can open maybe some calculator in here, and 1% is 3 months. Then 3 months we will multiply with 100. It is 300, and then 300 we will divide by 12 months. It is 25 years. So let's assume that the 1% will be increased every 3 months. We still have time. It's about 25 years. So that is, I believe that is too long. Maybe before 25 years you will replace your MacBook Air. So I believe it's still in the safe range right now. Maybe if another time, if I check SmartCTL and it decrease, I will update in my channel. So yeah, now we can move to battery. If you ask me about the battery life, if I do something like developer um, developer task, okay, So usually the battery will be, you know, it's around 1 day. Okay, so yeah, it's around 1 day for developing something. Okay, just like Docker, Postman, something like that. It will, you know, it's only 1 day for me. But if I use only for watching movie or play the games or maybe just checking some email, it's about 2 or 3 days. Usually 2 days. 2 days is my max uh, max days for using MacBook Air battery. Now maybe we can move to performance testing. So I already put the list. Let's we open the GarageBand first. Okay, maybe you guys use this program also. To easy monitor, we can take a look our activity monitor, and it's 5 GB. Okay, so GarageBand is takes up around 1.2 gigabyte in memory, as you can see here. Can I hear? Okay, I cannot hear because maybe I record this. So this is my, you know, music in my other channel. Yeah, so this list is based on my daily activity. Okay, usually if I use GarageBand, maybe we can simulate my activity. Usually I will open WhatsApp and then YouTube for maybe reference, and a few tabs, maybe Corp Chronos. Okay, maybe Apple. Okay, usually one tab for WhatsApp, one tab for YouTube, for and another tab for browsing, you know, text-based browsing. And then let's check our utilization in activity monitor. It's still around 5 GB. Okay, swap use is still 0. Okay, now we can move to next list. Okay, DaVinci Resolve. So DaVinci Resolve, I believe it's one of the, you know, nice product to edit the video. I really recommended you to use it. And let's open DaVinci Resolve. So usually, yeah, I use DaVinci Resolve along with browser, still with my WhatsApp, YouTube, and another tabs. Okay. It's still loading. How if we, you know, open some projects and then let's go to Finder. I don't have file to, you know, to edit, so let's we move this testing video to edit. Okay, maybe some text maybe. Okay, and then we can sample testing, and then we try to render without effect maybe. Okay, okay, choose YouTube and then testing maybe, testing, and add render QU. I will choose this one. Okay, now I have my QU. Try to render this. Okay, it's still rendering. Let's we check our memory and also our CPU maybe. System is, it's still, you know, nice. Idle is 80%, and memory still not use any swap. Okay, so maybe we can, okay, I will play video for next testing in YouTube. It's still nice, you know, swap use is still 0, and we already have our video. You can check in the movie, and this is our rendered video testing. Okay, nice. Let's close the DaVinci Resolve. So usually if I don't use that particular application, I will close the application, okay, saving my memory, because I only have 8 gigabyte of memory. So for me, I will have to smart to maintain my memory. And then we move to Docker first. So yeah, where is Docker? Okay, how if we it will take a while, so I just want to share that I already update my Docker. So if you want to check my version, maybe hold a second, it takes some times. Okay, right now I'm in 3.3.1 Docker version, and then okay, let's quit this. Let's running in the background. It's still starting. Okay. The difference between this version and my version before, I forget my version, my previous version, is usually I see this process is not QEMU system, but the com.apple blah 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 virtualization system. Okay, right now they change the com.apple to QEMU. So QEMU is something like virtualization. Yes, I also use QEMU in another situation or another application. I will show you later. And this is ARC64. I believe it is ARM, ARM64. And yeah, Docker is already running, Kubernetes already running. So let's check this out. And yeah, we start our project. So this is my project, this is my backend, and I believe it will be nice if we have another terminal. Okay, this is my backend, and okay, and also let's check our front end. This is my front end. Okay, let's check our list first. We need Docker and Postman also. Okay, Postman is for testing API. I believe if you are developer, you will use these tools. These tools is very, very nice, but the Postman is still in Intel version. So I recommended to try or download the native M1 version if already there. Okay, you can check every application that already available in the ARM native in this website, Apple Silicon Ready. It's very, very nice and up to date. As you can see, Postman is still Rosetta, not M1 optimized, and it's already open. Okay, there are a lot going on in here. Let's minimize this and take a look. Docker, Postman, Slack. Okay, in my daily activity, I will use Slack also to communicate or reading some documentation from there. And what else? Teams. Okay, Teams is usually for talking with my friends. Let's open it out. And also Telegram. Usually if I need to check some projects in Telegram, I will open the Telegram also. Let's open the Telegram. Okay, now all application already open. Let's check our memory. I believe it's used. As you can see, the swap is used. It's around 1.65 gigabyte. Okay, yeah, it's a lot of application going here. Let's minimize this first. As you can see, the biggest one is QEMU system ARC, okay, for Docker, and the second is Node. And yeah, as you can see, Teams it's still, you know, Intel version. As you can see, Teams it's still, yeah, it's sad, but yeah, I use this program to talk with my friends. And how about Slack? Slack is already native. If you see Apple in here, so it already native version of M1 or Apple Silicon. So as you can see, this is my daily, you know, daily activity. So it use around 1.8 gigabyte. So yeah, it's big, but yeah, this is what I do every day. So maybe we can move to another, you know, oh, how if we, you know, open some VS Code first. Hold a second, I will open my okay, I will open also my Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is already native, yeah. Okay, let's we check this out. Visual Code. What is the name of Visual? This one, Apple. Okay, Visual Studio Code is already native. So if all application, or maybe your application is already there for native version, my recommendation is you download the native version, because it's optimized for M1. It's supposed to use you know, very effective amount of RAM, because it's not use Rosetta or translator. So yeah, let's we check our activity monitor. Bam, it's increased to 2.1 gigabyte. Yeah, there's a lot of swap use, there's a lot of this written in the, you know, in the SSD. So maybe we can move to our next list. Okay, VS Code, Node, and browser. This is the list. Okay, and also the, okay, I will need to open this first. Okay, hold on. I need incognito. Okay, so this is my project. Okay, let's let it open and we check our utilization. Now it's still, yeah, around 2.19 gigabyte. Okay, there's a lot of it's increased to 2.2 gigabyte. Okay, is it stay there? Okay, it's around 2.2 gigabyte. Nice. So now we can move to Xcode iOS simulator. Okay, what I could stop is Yarn for my front end surface. If I reset or refresh, it will be, you know, this side can be reached. Now let's we close these windows. Okay, and then what else? Xcode iOS simulator, VS Code, and now we can close this baby. Okay, and then the browser is the Chrome. Okay, so for the optimized use, I recommended you using Safari, but maybe as you know that developer is really need Google Chrome, because it's, you know, widely used, easy to use for debugging in JavaScript. So that's why I still use Chrome for debugging my application, my web application. Now let's move to Xcode and iOS simulator. Okay, so hold on, Flutter iOS simulator. Okay, for Xcode, I will stop my Docker and also Postman, because usually I never use Postman if I building Xcode or testing Xcode. And then how about Docker? Yes, Docker. I will close Docker. Okay. Slack is still there, Teams is still there, YouTube is still there, and Telegram is still open. Okay, gracefully, and we will exit this baby. Yes, yes. And the last one, I will close this application. Okay, it's a must to maintain our memory. So as you can see, it will decrease to around 1.4 gigabyte. Okay, now it's decreased again to around only 900 megabyte. Nice. Now we can move to next list, Xcode and iOS Simulator. Let's we open our Xcode. I will check. I only, yeah. So it's my, it's my behavior to always checking the application open that I open in these tabs. So and then I will close something that I don't really need. Okay, because yeah, I believe you can let it open, but the thing is it will increase your memory usage for something that you don't need. So why don't you just close it? So memorize is some course I see on the YouTube, and then why don't we play some YouTube? Oh, letter clips, yeah, nice.
Speaking of high standards,
Let's mute it and let it 180p. Okay, Xcode iOS Simulator, let it open. Let's assume that I watching some tutorials, and then open Xcode. As we resume this, check our activity monitor. Oh nice, it's decreased again to 600 swap usage. Let's wait for a while. So this is my application, still not finished, but yeah, you can see this. And let's change our testing to, how about iPhone 12. Okay, let's render this, let's build this. Okay, we will try to build our application on simulator. Okay, simulator, it's still loading. Nice, it's still loading. Nice, running well. It's very simple application and it's still unfinished, but yeah, it's just only showing you memorize. Okay, nice. Now we can close this. So before we close, we check our activity monitor again. So as you can see, without Docker, the swap usage it's only around 600, 600 or 700 megabyte. CPU usage, how about CPU usage? Is idle is still 72, still nice. Okay, I usually don't care about the CPU usage, because usually I only taking care about the memory, because memory is damaging as you know that if you take a lot of memory, it will damage your SSD. That's why I taking care of my memory only. And then let's we check our list. Okay, let's close this baby, the simulator, and also the Xcode. Okay, you can close the application with Command and Q. Nice. And the next one is Flutter. Let's we build some Flutter application. And Lou is still talking with their friend. Okay, it's still empty. Let's we create something. My Flutter app. Okay, and then we need simulator. Okay, it's already created. We can enter this folder and then Flutter devices first. We need to check the available devices, and yeah, play now. Hold a second. Okay, now we get our device's name. We can copy it and then Flutter run -d. Okay, wait for a while. It will build to my simulator. Okay. So as you can see, if we stop Docker, it will save our memory a lot. Okay. So I believe. Oh, cannot build application. Let's try again. So I believe it will save our RAM if we switching back and forth between opening only the UI or the simulator. Hold on a second, something not right in here. Let's try one more time. My testing app. And then let's open our simulator again. CD my testing app. Flutter devices. Is it Flutter run -d? Name of the devices. Let's wait for a while. I don't know, maybe typo. Let's wait until nice. Maybe typo for the devices. As you can see now, I already have my Flutter demo homepage. You can increase this with this button, and this is application. I can swipe and I can open it again. So honestly, I also have Android simulator, but if you are using Flutter, so I do recommend that only open in the for testing, I mean for looking the UI or something like that in the iOS simulator, because the Android simulator is very lag, and the build time is very takes a lot of time. So why don't we open some VS Code in here, because we will code in, I usually use my VS Code, not using my Android Studio. And sometimes for some files change in iOS folder, I will open my Xcode. Okay, so let's check our activity monitor. So yeah, nice, it's still 686 megabytes, so it's nice. So I believe Docker is the biggest one to take a lot of memory in here. It's around 3 gigabyte, if I'm not wrong. So nice. Let's check our list. Okay, VS Code, Flutter, iOS simulator, very nice. Let's close this baby, and then Visual Studio Code, and then what else? Flutter. Okay, so let's move to our next list. Is Teams, YouTube, Telegram, it's still open, and then Slack. Okay, I will let it open, and SEVM. Okay, so SEVM, if you are using Mac, maybe you know about Parallels. Okay, Parallels is something application for virtualization, so you can run Windows on top of it. And I using ACVM. Why? Because it's free. It's very simple. It's a little bit annoying, but it's it's helped me a lot, and it's free and it's open source, so why don't use it? So now we already have our Windows open. Okay, nice. I also have VS Code in here, or Visual Studio Code. Why don't open this baby first, and then file browser. Okay. In the last project, I only use this QEMU, okay, this ACVM only for convert to exe, okay. So yeah, if you develop application in Windows, you will need Windows, baby. Okay, let's we open. Okay, a little bit. Hold a second. There is a lag in here. Let's we check. ACVM is Apple. Okay, it's native Apple, but it's still using Parallels is way better rather than ACVM. So okay, it's as you can see, it's bug. Oh, it takes a lot of RAM. You can see it is 6 GB not responding. Just kill it. Hold a second. Okay, I will kill this application first. Yeah, as you can see, it's not the best application out there, but yeah, because it's open source and it's free, I use this. So okay, let's we change the resolution first, and then we reset this. Let's we try again. I believe there is something wrong with the CVM. Okay, nice. Why don't we try again? Let's we check our activity monitor. It takes a lot of RAM, as you can see, 5 GB, 5.8 GB of RAM. Okay, maybe we can let it open. Okay, why we don't close this YouTube first, maybe, and then yeah, we can move to the file browser, file explorer, and then my Visual Studio Code, and then okay, let it open first. Bam. It's not responding again, baby. So okay, one last time. Okay, one last time. 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 It's usually not happen, but I don't know. Okay, one last time we will try to convert the Excel file. I don't know, maybe it's because Visual Studio Code, I don't know. Okay, usually it's not bug like this. I will open the base file here. Okay, wow, nice, it's corrupt. Okay, no problem. Something, let me just paste this. So I believe something problem with this, Windows. Okay, it's complete. So now I can see the build in here. Oh, sorry. In distribution, as you can see, it's yeah. This time it's already built. So I don't know. It's something happened with the Camu. So usually, if it's error, I will delete and reinstall again. Yeah, takes a lot of time, but yeah, no problem. So that's all about the ACVM or Camu. Maybe we can move to next application. Okay, let's close this baby first. Already closed. Now we can move to flowchart designer. So yeah, this is very recommended free application. You can see maybe it's user. This is you can create maybe phone maybe. This is API. Very nice free application. I do recommend it for you. Let's we check our activity monitor. It's still 700 megabyte, and yeah, it's normal. So let's close this baby and delete. Maybe go to our next list, Wireshark. So if you are network engineer, you will use this application a lot to checking your network. Let's we open our Wireshark. Where is Wireshark? It's only around 200. Okay, is it Intel or it's still Intel, but it's not take a lot of your resource. Okay, nice, it's work. And then maybe we can try to capture this device. Yeah, activity monitor. It's still around 600. Okay, 676 megabyte. Let's stop this and close this baby. Thank you. Quit without saving. Nice. Go to our next list is Audacity. Audacity is it's nice, free application available. So I usually use Audacity to create some prompt for my Cisco collaboration or contact center, something like that. I believe it's a small application, but it's still in Intel version. We check it out. Audacity, it's still Intel version, but it's only maybe it's only 96 megabyte. Okay, so it don't take a lot of RAM. So let's close this baby and move to our next list is Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Why don't we open all of them? Okay. Oh. let's we check our activity monitor. It's still around 600 megabyte. Okay, it's not take a lot of RAM. It's around 200 for Excel, PowerPoint, and also Word. Okay, maybe if document is big, it will take more RAM. Okay, but as you can see right now, it's only around 200. And all Microsoft, the good news is already ARM version, as you can see in Apple, and Apple. Okay, now we can open some YouTube again. MacBook Air, this is the best laptop for most people. Nice title. Okay, now we can move to our next application, Godot, and I just play with Godot, rarely use Godot, so that's why I won't open any Telegram or Microsoft Teams or maybe Slack, because I won't inform anybody. It's just testing. Okay, just play with it. We will open Godot, and maybe we can check our activity monitor first. Our memory now decreased to 200 megabyte for swap usage, and then maybe we can open some game that I already create. It's not finished game, but it's it's nice. Using my keyboard to control the movement, and then as you can see, the Godot, where's Godot? It's only use not only, okay, it's around 646 megabyte, and Godot, it's still, sadly it's still Intel version. Why don't we check the Apple Silicon Ready about the Godot? Yeah, it's still in Rosetta 2. Okay, not optimized for M1, but it's still nice. Let's we check again our memory. Our memory swap use is still around 200 megabyte. Let's we close this baby, and also this file. Quit. Okay, let's move to our next list is Clean My Mac. Okay, so this is very nice free application. I only use the free version. Okay, activate now, buy plan, just close it. Haha. So usually I only use this for delete my file. Okay, I will stop this usually, and then review details, and I will just check around. Maybe, oh, it's too big. Okay, maybe I want to delete it. I just double tap, single tap, and I will open in Finder, and I can delete the cache. Okay, but I don't recommend it to delete the cache for Safari, because maybe you already access some sites, and it will take slower if you delete this file. Maybe you can find out another option, something you can delete, maybe something like this, system cache files, or maybe another. And I do recommend it to check it in the Google, okay, or Stack Overflow before you delete any files. Maybe that files is important files. Okay, so let's close this. Before we close, we check our activity monitor. It will not take a lot of RAM. It's around 178 megabyte. Okay, we close this baby, and also let's check the Clean My Mac health monitor. So okay, no problem. Let's go next to our next application. This is nice application. Okay, so if you are connected to Bluetooth, you can check the battery percentage in here, because it's not available for some devices, I believe. So Aku is open source, it's free, you can find it on Google, and you can download it, you can use it. It's very nice free application. And also next is VLC. Maybe I don't have any file. How about hold on. Okay, I have this files. We can open it with VLC. Let's we check our activity monitor. VLC, it's around 145 megabyte. Okay, it's nice. So let's close this baby. And next list is GTA. Okay, let's we open GTA. So in the last update, right now I'm on 11.3. Okay, 11.3, maybe 11.3. Okay, my previous version of macOS is 11.2.3. So this is a very nice update for you if you are playing games, because let's resume this first. Oh, nice music, you know. So what's cool about this update is right now you have new preferences, as you can see here. Now you can switch between touch alternative if you want to use your touchpad, and also use only your keyboard and also touchpad for your game control. So maybe you don't want to buy a controller, you can use this option, controller emulation. Now you can play GTA on your keyboard. Nice option. And also the last update give us some option about window size. You can choose smaller size, but we need to restart the application first. GTA San Andreas. Okay, it will resize the resolution to smaller, but you can also touch this to full screen size. Okay, no problem. Nice. Hold on, I don't check my activity monitor. Okay, now we check our activity monitor first. Where's GTA? Okay, it's around 133 megabyte. And is it increased? Nice. As you can see, I play with my keyboard and my mouse. WASD for walking, and F for punch someone. Nice. Let's we check our activity monitor. It's still around 235 megabyte, so not a big game. Nice old game. Let's we close our music and also our GTA and move to our next list. Is the last list is Dragon Raja. So yeah, I do love playing, you know. Hold on, there is a music. Yes, I do love play some MMORPG for just refreshing. And sadly, like Genshin Impact, it's not available, or Black Desert. But the main important one is Genshin Impact. It's not available if you try to search on the App Store. But yeah, some people use a side-loaded trick to play Genshin Impact, but I believe Apple already disabled side-loaded option right now. So as you can see, it's running smooth. Dragon Raja in 60 frame per second. So let's we check our activity monitor. Okay, it takes a lot of RAM. It's about 1 gigabyte RAM, but swap use is still 155 megabyte. Okay, I believe Dragon Raja is our last list. okay, our last application in this list. So I do really hope this information is, you can take something from this information. Maybe you want to ask me something, you can comment in the comment section below. And yeah, see you in the next video. Good night.